look in the Ice and Fire series. Oh wait, Ice and Fire in the bottom lane!
Oh, the collapse of Aurora. Edward jumps in as well. Tempest of Blade for Demon Kite to be able to escape. Renny J with the ultimate. Wiki Shadow going to get knocked out. Easy few with the RWM. Here comes the clap back from Aurora from Demon Kite from the back. Will they be able to clash out the ultimate though as Demon Kite can walk away. And they brought down Kyle
Teasy.
Teasy.
Started up though for that first Lord.
Oh, they're going to burst it down because they know where Demon Kite is, and Kyle Teasy secures it. Now Aurora has to go for the kills. Demon Kite now in the picture as he works on few. Renny J the first man down. The next is Demon Kite and a double kill for Super Marco. They want to make it 3. Edward quite low here. Triple.
This is a decent Falcons draft.
Ooh, that's a hell of a last pick by Aurora.
Okay.
Not a giggle. Bring it up. That was pure excitement to see exactly what's going to happen here in the jungle. Demon Kite on the Ling. And I know we're ready to see if they can even out the series. Is it going to be RORA or Falcons already? After game 1, Cinema, oh my goodness!
Early pokes there, Ogwen, one more hit. Yue was able to cast the Lantern Flare. Ogwen had to flicker out, so that's too close for the two roamers.
You know, after a really great first movie, then they announced the second movie, then the second movie just starts with action right away. That's what that felt like.
He like jumped right in the movie and just, you're in the middle of the plot.
You're like, what's going on? It's like, and has the lock-in basic attack from the Kalea, of course, followed Reggie all the way there. And of course, with Yue dragging Ogwen at the same time, that's wild.
Oh.
Yeah, then they go 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Clutch quick Sandguard there from Renny J to outsave the damage from Kyle. Ogwen jumps in onto Demon Kite. One more hit, 2 more hits away, and Demon Kite gets away.
I'm so surprised what we're seeing. Like this matchup specifically, I think is the most action-packed.
Yeah.
It has to be so far through the playoffs.
Yeah, considering the fact that they're considered to be textbook, systematic. I think both teams came in thinking that the other team is textbook, so we have to be aggressive. We have to think outside the box, and that's what both of these teams are doing now.
Yeah, they both thought the same way.
Yeah.
They were just like, are we going to go fundamental? Nah, let's just go all action. And then this is where we find ourselves now. I mean, there's no kills yet, but there have been substantial trades, especially with the rotations of the roamers and the mid laners being read by the other. So far, the Falcons have been doing the slightly better reading, as Renny J and Yue haven't really been able to make the most out of their tandem together yet.
PC has to ask help from Ogwen there because Edward already popped his Revitalize as Renny J pops in also to help Edward defend. And now if you're going to look at the lineup so far in the mid lane and the gold lane, so it looks like Team Falcons has an easier time, but the X factor for Aurora remains to be the most consistent person, Edward, because so far Baksha has been quite tanky, and now he jumps in even. Yue being able to deliver the Lantern Flare, and the first blood drawn onto Flap Teasy, but they're still going on. Ogwen has his eyes on Renny J, and Kyle Teasy goes in with a Wiki Shadow kill. Ogwen drops Demon Kite with the ultimate as Yue just popping the Lantern Flare to delay the charge of Team Falcons, but Ogwen jumps in again and gives the kill in a few.
And Falcons will get some more on top of the objective.
And it really looked like Falcons being able to gank Edward meant that the Revitalize was already spent. If they had that Revitalize then, RORA would have won that sequence because they played it so well. But they just needed that extra bit of healing, extra bit of time to go through, but they just did not have it.
They didn't, I mean, at that point, for RORA specifically, you know you're going to have to give some time to Demon Kite to get online here, and you're going to be utilizing the time to also get Demon Kite. This is a big game for the Kite brothers, I feel like, specifically, just because of how important both the heroes that they're playing are going to be. At some point, if they fall too far behind, which is already kind of started, then you're forced to put Demon Kite somewhere across the map, maybe trying to fight for his own buffs even, and protecting him and hoping. Oh, hold on.
Shadow kill. Okay, good. Force out the Crimson Beacon early on from Yue, but a couple more hits away. Yue is gone from Kyle Teasy.
Oh, look at this pressure. This is what's going to happen, though. If that lead continues to build, you put pressure on Demon Kite. But the Wanwan specifically, this has been popping up quite often throughout the playoffs even. And, you know, it's performed, I would say, so-so, depending on the teams that did draft it. But as long as Demon Kite can go ahead and just focus on farming up and then get the space that he needs to eventually get the Crossbow of Tangs off later for the fights, that's going to be crucial here. But I feel like, too, at the same time, you have to watch out, man. Super Marco has been locked in, especially from last game.
Yeah, for sure, Team Falcons is aware of the fact that Dominkite can turn things around with one crossbow of Tang. That's why Team Falcons is rushing and holding on to the lead that they have, especially after the third turtle. They need to be able to break the mid lane turret and put a lot of pressure in Demonkite's jungle.
All right, blitz it.
Edward, shield unity there. Demonkite jumps in also as FLCN continuing with the Infernal Pursuit. Pop the revitalized Renegade with a beautiful cast of the ultimate. Dominkite joining the picture now. RWM casted down by few. Tempest of Blades coming in from Demonkite, but FLCN the first man down. No casualties for the Northern Lights.
Oh, see, with the revitalize on the side of RORA, it looks good for them in the team fight. But at the end of the day, Falcons is still going to hold on long enough to get the turtle for themselves. Few holding on to that real-world manipulation so well. KyleTzy will shadow out after threatening a move. Yeah, he did not have a shadow kill.
Yeah, he didn't have it, but gonna go ahead and just apply the pressure the way you would on a Hayabusa, especially when you had that kind of early kill in your favor. You can see too, they're building up on the gold, especially Super Marco farming well. Dominkite's doing a good job though, and that's why I said most of the time he's gonna continue. Edward could be in trouble. He is tanky.
Oh, the Jump Brothers have opened and FLCN going after Edward. A weak shadow kill casted down. Shield unity is there. They almost stunned out KyleTzy, but still no casualties for both.
Okay.
All right. Seems like there's a lot of trades happening, but Falcons are slipping with their macro.
Yeah.
Dominkite able to get that tower down without a problem. I think Falcons are getting baited into some fights that mean they're sacrificing some map control. I think they need to balance that out first before they start being aggressive again.
Yeah, it's kind of like they are thinking, okay, we can get this kill. We can make this play. But then eventually they don't, just because RORA is doing a good job at just disengaging if they have to. So they do lose that turret. And RORA will go ahead and focus on the next one. At the same time, so far, like I said, for Dominkite, the big thing is continue to farm up, stay alive. He doesn't need to go down. Super Marco's been doing the same thing. But Kyle will continue to put pressure on. The big problem I see with RORA is fighting against this Eve. We've seen the Eve perform so well the past couple days especially, and it's always tough to deal with once you get towards these objectives. And later on for the Lord here. So it's going to take a little finesse, I would say, for RORA to really fight against the lineup that Falcons has.
Yeah, Demonkite and Yua, though, based on the previous engagements what we got to see, have been holding on to their ultimates incredibly well. The Crimson Beacon for the juice in, the Tempest of Blades. There we go. I almost had Storm of Swords, but that's the third book in the Ice and Fire series. Oh wait, Ice and Fire in the bottom lane!
Oh, the collapse of Aurora. Edward jumps in as well. Tempest of Blades for Demonkite to be able to escape. Renegade with the ultimate. Wiki Shadow coming in from KyleTzy. Few with the RWM. Here comes the clapback from Aurora from Team Dominkite from the back. Will they be able to clash out the ultimate though as Demonkite can walk away. And they brought down KyleTzy with the help of Yue. 2 members down immediately for Team Falcons.
I thought more bodies would be dropping, but at the end it was just the EXP and Roamer, but the jungler down as well. KyleTzy got taken out there. Dark Wave coming in big time for Flap. Renegade being able to escape though. And RORA played that incredibly well. See, Falcons really need to start shaping up here in terms of their decision making when they're going to be fighting out. I know that was them taking a more defensive position there, but the map is looking blue. Aurora have been playing the better macro.
Fight for the turtle though. Third one of the game might go in the hands of Falcons. It just doesn't seem RORA really cares that much. They want to go ahead and continue just evening out the goal deficit, which they've essentially done. That little bit of a lead that Falcons held on to is now gone. So RORA, why make a decision here? But that's the thing. Knowing what you have for a lineup, you want to just let Falcons start these up. Even later on for the objectives, for the most part, you keep playing to that macro advantage the lineup gives you. Who's going to come down for this third turtle?
Renegade with his zone, and KyleTzy secures the turtle. Renegade from the back with the Raging Sandstorm. Dominkite was able to cast the ultimate. FLCN now got out of some blades coming in from Demonkite as they bring down Owen as well. The clapback from Aurora. 2 members down in exchange for Renegade, but KyleTzy working on Demonkite. One more hit away. Will he be able to save it? And Demonkite escapes with a slither of health left.
Great reaction by Edward to help Demonkite out. And as we said earlier, just as the star field of the Eve went up, Aurora's Demonkite went in with a Tempest of Blades to the back to force Few to break his formation, and Falcons could have gotten more, but again, Aurora are waiting time and time again for the ultimate of Few. Let's check out the items of the 2 mid laners, Glowing Wand and the Enchanted Talisman for Few, while, of course, still waiting for the second main item, as with every juice in, always needs to go through the elegant gem for the 2 gold laners. Meanwhile, 7.1k for Super Marco, and we are at 7.2, so neck and neck are the Granger and 1-1.
The fact when Demon Kite got away with a sliver of health has been, I feel like, the story of the last team fights throughout this game for Falcons. It's like they get so close, but they're not able to capitalize on these kills every single time. So that's actually doing a lot here for Aurora in the grand scheme of things. Again, as they go ahead and continue to build up, they might be in a good position to go and contest or even take the Lord now, because 3 of the turtles obviously going over in the hands of Falcons as they controlled a lot of that space to work with. And we'll see if Aurora decides to go on the offensive.
Edward and Renegade spot out Ogwin. Had to cast the ultimate there and flicker away, so that's major resource. 2 major resources down for Team Falcons.
Yeah, that was a really good pick. It wasn't a pick off, but now Ogwin's gonna be stumped for the next major sequence in 10 seconds. It's gonna be the first Lord of the game. Falcons, let's see how they readapt to the situation. They're probably gonna shift things up with Flap TZ in the roam position, while Ogwin's gonna be following in from behind. Flap's items, Radiant Armor, still on the way to the Dominance Ice. Has he also built up gloves for himself? It seems like he's sort of half-pathing already 2 major items.
Might be a key moment when they can pick that up through this game. Again, with this only being the first Lord, they can still keep things together here under the 11-minute mark, but Aurora, they've been leaning towards aggressiveness, and it even seems like they want to do it now.
Oh, Kyle, they say we can shadow kill, but the Wind of Nature was just clutch for Dominkite. Plus the revitalize from Edward. Renegade goes in with the Raging Sandstorm. Tempest of Blades casted down by Demon Kite, working on Kyle Stacey and Ogwin. RWM is the signal for both teams to disengage.
Yeah, defensive. Few really just had to cover there, but Aurora have won that because they forced out so many major abilities from the side of Falcons, have put them out of position in this Lord. Aurora will be in position for Lord number 1 first. Dominkite though might get caught.
No Wind of Nature for Dominkite, so he has to back off. Fortunately, he wasn't taken down there by Super Marco in the most crucial time because the Lord is up for both teams.
Yeah, utilizing that get away there that he can. He has to disengage and just make sure Dominkite doesn't die. He's doing well. That's what I said was a main part that he needed to do for this game was stay alive, obviously, farm up. He's done that. But he's also got to be protected, and you can only do so much if you're this 1-1. This is going to be started up, though, for that first Lord.
Oh, they're going to burst it down because they know where Demon Kite is, and Kyle TZ secures it. Now Aurora has to go for the kills. Demon Kite now in the picture as it works on view. Renegade, the first man down, the next is Dominkite, and a double kill for Super Marco. They want to make it 3. Edward quite low here. 4. Triple for Marco. Will it be 4? He has the Death Sonatas, but will he be able to reach Yue? Yue stays alive.
Going after him. He wants him, but he has to give up the hunt. As Falcons now have the Lord and are marching down. Aurora, shock and awed again by Falcons.
5 seconds before the Hitman respawns.
Wow.
What can Yue do as Kyle TZ jumps in? And Team Falcons looking at a 2-0 lead.
The birds of prey are flying high yet again. But the shadow of yesterday's defeat still looms over them. They have the lead, but can they finish off the lights?
Oh, the lights are going to have to do something here, man. They're going to have to start shining bright to blind these Falcons, because now